G'day again, this is update number 3. Okay, what I've been doing is last episode I had my bench work done with a track that would come around the top over all this mess and come back down again. I had to make a little bit of an alteration down the ends here. I've actually cut the board out more and had to re-level this whole ramp going up here. It now all sits at 2% gradient and no more, and I've also cut into the top there more to level it out, because what happened is I put a track, had the whole loop going, and my diesels were making it up, but my little steamers were having a lot of trouble. If they did get up there, they could only have 2 or 3 carriages. It turned out when I put my level thing on the actual track, my level gauge, it was showing a percentage right up to 3, even close to 4, and that was with that little bit of a bend. So I started again. Now, what I've done today, it's amazing the things you do when you can't sleep. I had a tooth pulled yesterday and my sleep's gone. So I designed a station. That was always the intention. So down here, what we have is I've put all these carriages on the actual platform area so I could show the actual track. What I've got is just some green electrical PVC tape to mark out the track. Downloaded some templates, Pico switches off the internet and printed them out into lifelike size, so I've got an idea of exactly what I need and what will fit. So I'll give you a quick rundown and hopefully some comments, because you might see a better way of being able to do this. Basically, when it's worked, from here 2 tracks. We've got our rear track and a front track. Rear track will be heading off to the right and the front track will be going left. As if I was down in here in Australia. The track closest to me would be going that way. So basically, the rear track, or the front track, we'll go the front track first, that's coming in this direction. Now the green is the track. So we actually split off and then down to another 2. Now the first one, if you can see it, runs right along the side of what will be a platform. If you have a look, I've got red PVC tape showing where the platform is. And then that joins back up at the end there. So that gives me an internal middle track for anything that's, say, freight or express and needs to keep coming through. Now, this track also splits at the first joint and comes all the way out and meets up with the platform that I've got for the other side. So trains are coming from the right heading left, can stop at either platform. Now this longer platform there will actually take 6 of my power line carriages, so that at the moment is the longest passenger train, maybe 6 or 7 because I am into the American steam as well, and as I get more, well, they have long trains. So anyway, what I have done also is with the rear one, that splits off as well. First one comes in, and as you can see, we'll zoom it back out a bit, it meets up with the inside track. Okay, so it gives it the option to stop at the station on that side and run straight through, and it has an outside option of stopping at that side of the platform, which doesn't, it stops there. So it can be used as a parcel drop-off as well as a terminus in a way. I'm sure I'll get some of those really nice looking Explorers and English locos with the double enders on them. Even maybe some of the Victorian trains that I've seen. I've got a bit of a likeness for the diesels, but I love the steam as well. So anyway, my station, basically the 2 platforms, which is what's in the red, and one down this side. And I've got a little signal box that I have yet to make up that may fit down here. I'm not too sure. It may even sit right on the edge of the platform right there. Then I'll be putting a small station side there and Down that end, maybe a small station too, with maybe a little receiving warehouse at the other end. All depends on what modelling stuff I can get my hands on. Now, any trains coming from this side, what I have done, once again, there's my 2 tracks. I've built a crossover using curved radiuses because it needs to be curved because of the shape of the benchwork. And they come around, so a train on either side of track can cross over to whichever track it needs coming in this direction. So once again, a train has that platform to stop on and can continue off into the same track, or it can switch over and run on that side. So yes, trains should run on the sides, but hey, it's my railway. It will be DCC, which will be allow me to run trains on the different tracks because maybe something needs a bypass or something like that. Later on around this side, there is actually a rear track running down there which will have its matching track, and that will probably have a crossover or even a built-in passing loop which will join back up, which will allow trains running on the outside to come back round onto the track it's supposed to be on. All this section here will be under a upper bridge area, so I don't want any points basically inside a tunnel. I think that's just madness. I'm not willing to go in there and fix up the derailments. That would just be too hard. If anyone knows anyone that's got points inside a tunnel, send us a link on YouTube. I'd love to see. Alright, anyway, so train's coming down. Now, on this front track, it has the option of, once again, stopping on this side of the platform, or if it stays in through the middle, it can express bypass and come all the way and into that track. Now, one thing is, any track that needs to change has to change down here before the station. So tracks running this way do have the option of both tracks right at the end. But something I noticed after I did all this, trains running on the rear here can only stop at that side of the platform or that side and run through. Can't drop over to the track till we get to the crossover at the end there, which means any train which is on the rear, which normally will be running that way anyway, cannot stop at this platform. Now, I want to try and make this as prototypical as I can when it comes to the running of the tracks, because like I said before, I've been enjoying playing with simulators on the iPad where I can actually switch tracks around and stuff like that, or sorry, carriages around, and yeah, I'd like it all to sort of work out, but it may not be that it needs to be that. So yeah, any opinions on that? Anyone thinks I can do better? Let me know. What I'm going to do is go grab the laptop after I finish recording this and try and copy what I have done down into something like AnyRail or something like that, just this section, and you get a snapshot of it and post it up. So if anyone has any ideas, they can mess with it. I'll gladly take criticism because it only means I can only fix it. And praise, well, hey, everyone has an ego somewhere. So yeah, these 2 tracks at this level will run under now. This will all be covered over. On this upper section, which comes from about here to the back, it will have a 2-track system that comes up the incline and through the back there. Now what I'm thinking of doing is just a little bit of a straight out fiddle yard with not much at all, just as much track and as much curves in there as I can fit to store freight carriages and stuff. I do have some. Most of my trains will probably be passenger trains, so I'm basically just getting up a stock of different sorts of freight so different things can carry different things. I'm tempted to put some of my Hornby engines onto KD couplers. I know some people have tried it. I won't be doing the Thomas the Tank Engine ones though. They will stay with their normal Hornby couplers, as they're something a little bit different. But yeah, I'll probably, I may see what I can do about doing that. And somewhere in the back here, a little bit of a change on this upper level. I'm thinking of a spur coming off because they'll be full of siding. These tracks will run really down towards the back, with a bit of a fiddle yard or sidings, whatever people call it in Australia. I watch a lot of YouTube, whether that's fiddle yard in Australia as well, I do not know. But a spur that comes off and smooths all the way around of that back corner, comes all the way through, and where I'll have my bridges down here, like you can see there's one track there already on a piece which is sort of a bridge. That will be double track, so basically it'll be something like that. But coming off the top here, a track that'll lead into here, and then this section here will be covered up and flat, and I don't think I have room for a turntable. It'd be nice, because I don't think a steam train layout is complete without a turntable. But there will be sidings of some sort, maybe a factory, if not an engine shed, and some way of being able to turn them around. I really don't know. I have to go find the actual turntable sizes and heights to make sure I keep the clearance underneath, because I wanted to make sure that I've always got the clearance, so that if I can get my hands on some double stack cars that take the freights on, say, an intermodal, I think is what the Americans call it. I don't know if we call that down in Australia, that they can run under now. I made sure they can go under that. So I'd want them to still be able to run under that, but I've got to find out what the turntable height would be, because I know it's going to be set down into the thing. But I can also possibly give it a slight incline that doesn't need to be as sharp as a 2% gradient as well. So yeah, that's my plans. DCC very soon. Hopefully not this week coming, today's Friday, but maybe the week after. It all just depends on the DCC controller. At the moment, looking like the NEC cab, and we'll go from there. And then a lot of these engines will need to be plugged into DCC. That one up the top there, that beautiful Union Pacific, it has DCC. At the moment it's the chip's taken out and it's got its little blanking plug-in, so it can be operated on this DC layout, but that will go back in. Possibly may not go back in, because I might dig around for a sound encoder instead. We'll see what happens. So yeah, all these will have to be DCC'd up. This one, just so you know, it's an old River Rossi I bought, $80 off eBay. Great. The guy said, of course, the motor drive is in the engine end, so it's all stuck. Took it home. It ran, but ran really bad. Then I took it apart to find out the mounts that hold the motor were all broken. So I thought, well, it's still a beautiful train for $80. All the bits were there. I've got some Canon motors off the internet, and I've seen a little tutorial about people how they've rebuilt, so and put one of those in, which has apparently more torque and a hell of a lot quieter than the original motor. So yes, I'll be working out how to retrofit a bracket and putting one of those in there. Of course, my Thomas stuff, the little Percy is DC already. Sorry, DCC. Thomas and Duck are not. That train there was an old Lifelike train that 20 years ago, my niece, when she was 4, decided to paint. It was a cheap train, so we did. And we have 4 carriages. Her name's Melissa, so it's Melissa with a number 4. And yeah, I'll eventually put KD couplers, and I've actually found a blue light and a red light that work. And because the front of it is dual, I'm going to stick a red and a blue light in there instead of having a white light, because it's a bit of a family circus train. My V-Line C-Class, I'd love to get a blue and gold C-Class to match it. And then we've got our S-Classes and our B-Classes, and then a little T-Class flat top up there as well. Down the bottom, my latest Hornby, which is a 9F, beautiful looking engine. It is tender driven, and it wouldn't make it up the gradient with more than 2 carriages. It's a little bit loose in the back. It seemed to scream a little bit. I don't know if the motor's almost had it or it just needs a good service. Same drive as the Gordon. The Gordon was working a little bit better, so it could just be a servicing type thing. And there's the Santa Fe shell from a Bachmann. Anyone wants it, let me know. The running gear under that, or the whole chassis, came off that Bachmann because that was the lifelike plastic wheels and one of them broke. So I got that, I think it was about $50–60 off eBay, and swapped it all over because this is a little bit more important to me. What else can I tell you about my railway? That's about it at the moment, I guess. I just tonight, only a few hours ago, picked up a 2882 Pennsylvania Steam from the Proto Heritage range. I can't wait to get that. That's going to be awesome, and that'll sit up there nicely with those trains. For the moment, that's it. Hope you enjoy. I'll go and make a plan on the computer and do a snapshot so you can see the station from above better. And then that way, if anyone can see any faults, apart from the faults I found, which is the outside line not being able to stop on the inside station. Maybe that's not even a fault, who knows? Let me know. Talk to you all soon. See ya.